I'm always trying to get Judd to shut his fucking trap and he never does. And oh my god, I feel like he should be euthanized. Here's the podcast. Shit, I played the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. Wow, you can tell we've not done this in a while. Holy
How
shit.
can you tell that?
Because of how crap we are at it right now.
No, I'm super good. I've been listening to I am opposite of the film Super Bad. I am super good. I've been listening to podcasts all day, so I've got like a general idea of what I should do.
General idea?
Let's talk about
I've just
sandwiches.
we're using this different version of OBS, and it doesn't tell me how long we've been recording for. It just tells me how long we've been live.
Yeah,
which is kind of frustrating. I'll have to remember what time we started. So you're thinking about being a postman, Judd? What do you think about that?
I think I'd like it. Royal Post guys can walk around with like their earphones in, can't they?
I think so, but I think the thing is, I think a lot of like nearly retired people do it, like kind of older people, because they don't need that much money. They might already be on a pension, but they can still like get around in that. So they're not the type of people who would do that anyway. So I don't think you don't normally see it happen, but I'd have thought so. I don't see why not.
I am sure I've seen like the only thing that had stopped me from doing that is whether or not I could listen to like podcasts while I do it. That's the only thing.
It's
like
I can't survive otherwise.
If I can, then yes, I'll do it. I'll happily like live my life as opposed to I will do that.
You have to think though. It's not just posting leaflets like you do now. You actually have to like interact with people and like post parcels and things. So
I don't mind interacting with people. I don't mind talking to people because that was also another job of mine for a month. And the only reason I stopped doing that is because the people who ran it were bastards.
But what I'm saying is, you might like have to stop your podcast fairly often and take your earphones out and
that's okay. It's just while I get from place to place. That's it.
Yeah.
If I'm talking to people, then that's still passing the time because I'm talking to people. I don't mind talking to people.
Yeah, I just don't know whether, to be honest, I don't know how they would know unless you got like reported, but it's just that if like they didn't like you having your earphones around your neck as you were handing over parcels or something, which that's the type of bullshit that workplaces do. They pull that sort of thing all the time. So I could see that being a thing, but I just can't see people caring enough to report that to the Royal Mail. So,
yeah, like who's gonna fucking be like that young ruffian had their earphones.
I wouldn't put it past some people.
To my neighbour, like surely the Royal Mail, like at that point, I'd just go, "Fuck off, Mavis! Stop calling."
No, but they wouldn't though. That's the thing. They wouldn't. You could totally see that actually happening. I don't think it would, but you could see it happening because people are that shit. Where's your mic, Judd? Where's your good mic?
I don't know.
Well, you've not really looked for it, have you? You've not like.
I have because I moved everything to get to my nan's and like had a really good look around for it, and I don't know.
Are you sure it couldn't be anywhere else?
I've got an idea where it could be, but there's a lot of stuff there.
Well,
we're already in the middle of a podcast, so
yeah, and not right now, but
not right now.
You could look for it.
I could.
And you
I'm
should.
Probably not going
you should as well.
I could just buy a new one. Like, it's probably right there on my microphone.
To be honest,
I could just buy a new one.
You should just buy a new headset, really, shouldn't you? That one that you've got is fucked.
I should actually, yeah.
While you're at it, you should get like one of these mics that I've got as well.
One of the... I can't remember what you call
you should get a few things for streaming. You should get a better webcam, a light, a microphone that's not attached to your headset, like an actual good one, like this, probably better than this, and a blue snowball maybe, and probably like a stand to put it near your face.
You should get a fucking life. That's what you should get.
I've had too much of a life lately. It's been stressing me out. Fucking, it really has.
You've not had a single life.
I've not even 0 deaths though. So
yeah, you've not even had a Half-Life.
Not even had a Half-Life 3 coming soon to theaters.
To theaters.
I don't know.
Could you imagine that? Why don't we just fuck with them and make it a movie?
So, if people are listening to this podcast after the fact, we might be about to talk about something you could find a little bit boring, but don't worry, you should stick around because we've got some fun stories about going out drinking and partying that we can talk about soon.
I got a fun one as well, actually. Which I've just found out. I don't know if you've heard of it yet or not.
But first, if you're not listening to this podcast live, you should follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/gamesbadly because that's where we record this. And if you do listen to it on Spotify or Apple Music, then good because it is there. But also, you can watch the video on More Jacob Fox. That's where the podcast goes up.
If
the video
you listen
one.
to it there, good, well
good boy,
done.
Good girl, good gamer
you
girl.
You did it right.
There is links everywhere that you can consume this podcast, and you should click them and see where they lead. Ooh, mystery links. Ah. They're not a mystery, really. Shut up. So yeah, that's that.
I wasn't talking. Me personally, I wasn't talking.
I'm gonna sneeze. Get ready.
Do them.
I sneezed right on the mic for everyone's enjoyment. Judd, I want to tell you about Apex because before we came on, as you know, I've been playing like a shit ton of Apex Legends. There's a new event that's based
Ascent Horizon,
that's based around Wraith, and there's like a new area that's pretty cool, and it's got a big portal that if you hit, it like teleports you into this lab underground. You can access the lab through a door as well, but it's a cool area. I like it. It's nice.
Okay.
But the thing is, along with this area, they've added a new game mode, a temporary one. But if you want to complete all your challenges and that, you have to play this game mode, right? So what's the most overpowered gun in Apex Legends at the minute?
I don't know.
I'll tell you, there's two. There's two guns that are the most overpowered guns at the minute. The longbow and Peacekeeper. Peacekeeper's
okay. I mean, a Peacekeeper's always kind of been one, hasn't it?
To be honest, a lot of people say the longbow. I'm not too bothered personally about the longbow, but
you've been telling me about this. I'm sure you've been telling me about this.
But the game mode they released is only snipers and shotguns, and only white armor. Like, what the fuck? Why did they think that was a good idea?
No, because I'm sure that's the thing of it, isn't it? Like, it's just, they know you're gonna die like after one shot. I'm sure that's
everyone hates it. It's terrible. Like, there's some people who are like, the most positive reaction that I've heard to it is, yeah, it is shit. I'm having a bit of a fun time with it, but it is bad. Like, that's the best reaction that we've had to it. Oh shit, Judd, you're laggy. Where's he gone? Oh god. Oh, he's roboting. Come back, Judd. I need.
Here.
Oh, say
I'm right here.
Oh, you're being very laggy, Judd.
No, I'm not.
You are. Oh, there we go. You're back.
I'm not being laggy at all.
Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it. So yeah, that's that game mode, and I've been just.
That is the thing of it, though, isn't it? That it's meant to be like a piss take because they know, don't they? They're not fucking stupid.
Well, they obviously are. Because the thing is, I genuinely do think that they just don't know what they're doing with their game. They've accidentally made a good game, and they don't know what to do next with it because the updates they've done, right? Everyone was saying, like, loads of people, there was pretty much a unanimous, consensus from all people who play it of what, like, nerfs and changes they should make. They did none of those. What they did do is nerf Watson for some reason.
Why is Watson been nerfed?
Yeah, that's what everyone else said. It's insane. Because the thing is, now you can only put down one ult at a time with Watson, right? Which
could you not before? Could you?
You could put more than one down because the meta with Watson was in competitive, you would essentially like rotate into different buildings and fight out of the building and try and shoot people out of the building, and you'd use Watson because you could have an ult on like to cover the entire building so that there were no grenades spammed at you.
All right.
Which it's already hard enough to plant two ults down. I mean, you'd have to carry a lot of ultimate accelerants to do it at the same time.
I was just going to say you'd have to be like
you'd have to be like really laggy and freeze on camera. Yeah, you would have to do that. I don't know what's going on with Judd's internet. I think you can probably still hear me, but essentially what I was saying is you do that and you put up traps on doors and things, but they've nerfed Watson for like no reason, and they've not nerfed the stuff that needed it, and they've not buffed the stuff that needed it, and it's so I honestly don't think they know what they're doing with the game. You're still laggy, Judd. I can't hear you at all. Maybe you should, I don't know, rejoin or something like that. It's if you're watching the video version of this, you can just see Judd's face like staring into the camera. Well, I don't know what to do really. I'm trapped on my own in a live recorded podcast that we can't edit. I'm gonna leave this call and voice join him again. See what happens. It's So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Apex Legends. The new mode fucking sucks. The changes they made to it, they're not game breaking. They're not like terrible, but they're kind of just stupid and pointless. And it means a character that you have to buy. You can grind for it, but a character that you have to like either grind really hard for or spend real money on is now not viable at all. Yeah, Judd's just left. He says he's playing Hearthstone, but oh no, he's gone offline on Discord, so maybe he'll join in a second. But that's my it's I don't know. It's not. I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends, and it's not annoyed me this latest update that much. But it's kind of disappointing because they could do something good, but they've just not, and it's going to be ages before we get like another update or another event and things, before they get another chance at doing something good. So yeah, it's frustrating, but I'm going to inevitably play another 5,000 hours of it or some shit. I've only played 120 hours so far. I've not actually played 5,000 hours. That'd be crazy. Yeah, I'm kind of just waiting on Judd to get back before we can talk about other stories. Like I said, check out links in the description of places. It's well worth doing. Follow us on Twitch and that. That's the best place. Hopefully at some point, Judd will move out and get decent internet. But who knows if that'll happen. How about I just burp into the microphone? I can feel one coming on. There you go. How about that? Let's, while I'm here, let's read some weird poems again. That was fun last time I did that. Weird poem. Weird poems. Poems for weird. Okay, here we go. I'm on a website called poemhunter.com. Let me try and read this out. I'll do it in my poshish accent. Birds are flying south for winter. Here's the weird bird heading north. Wings are flapping, beak a chattering, cold head bobbing back and forth. He says it's not that I like ice, or freezing winds and snowy ground. Sometimes it's kind of nice to be the only bird in town. Wasn't that nice? Right, let's go with this one. This one's called Weird. This one's like a longer one, and it's actually just called Weird. So, no doubt that dreams are strange, hateful, can be, happy and sad. Mine in this morning. Oh shit, Judd's ringing me. Yo.
Hey, is this good content?
Is what good content?
This that's happening right now, have you like paused it or?
No, Judd, I'm reading out weird poems again. This is normally what I do when your internet's kind of fucked up. So
you just read weird poems on the podcast.
Yeah. Sort your internet out, and then I'll stop reading weird poems. It'll be.
All right, okay. I've just had to like turn everything off at the mains because you know how like I have that what do you fucking call it, booster?
Yeah.
Usually it's just that, and I just like flick that on and off, and then it'll just like stop being a spasm for the rest of the day. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I've done that like 3 or 4 times today, and it's still being a retard. And then like I've sort of tried on my phone on like the actual Wi-Fi, and that's been a retard. So
Right. Okay.
I've shut it all down. I've shut it all down.
Okay. Well,
So,
as I've already said on the podcast, hopefully you can move out at some point and get some decent internet. And
yeah.
but yeah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
try and sort it out as quick as you can.
Yeah, maybe one day fucking pigs will lie as well. That'd be great.
Okay, well, sort it out as quick as you can, and then we can continue with what we were on about.
Okay, all right then.
Right. Okay. Bye.
All right, bye. I love you.
Shut up. Okay. What was I saying? Okay, I'll start this poem again. Is this good content? Is it? Well, it's happening. Anyway, I'll try that again. No doubt that dreams are strange, hateful, can be, happy, and sad. Mine in this morning was nameless. I searched in the dictionary, found weird. I was hired as a bus driver and had already driven for one day at last. Was next morning went to work, instead of office filled with addicts. A man was passing on money, one big bill was in green. What is this? I asked English, not the dialect where I was in. They can be drivers and office, I thought, departed, decided to leave. I left. Halfway I met a Cameron. Hugged a classmate of university. We were in Toronto, but yet not. I left him, and to work I walked. The drivers... The drivers had left as had the payer. In reporting for the work I was late. What is such a dream if not weird? What the fuck was that? Oh shit, hold on. Are we good? Are we good? We might be good, ladies and gents. Look at him coming back in his fucking dressing gown. Well, that certainly was weird. Judd, come in, Judd. Come in. Come in. Come in.
Hello.
Come in. Can you hear me, sir?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
I just read a weird fucking poem.
Hold on. Have I been on the screen the whole time during that?
Well, for a bit, like you walked in with wearing your dressing gown from the door. We saw that.
Because like, I didn't know that it like put me back on. Because like I've shut everything down and then I've come back on, so I could have straight up come through that door like nude.
Yeah.
Just, like, sometimes I like unfasten my dressing gown and like fasten it back up just to tighten it back up. I could have done that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have known. It would have been on stream because fucking it's just like, oh yeah, this is what he was doing before.
Well,
I'll just do it again.
I put it on just my face.
I'm gonna pick my teeth with this now.
That's your toe knife, Judd. Come on. You can't mix your tooth knife and your toe knife.
I think Frank can do it. I've seen Frank do it. I've seen him do it.
Tessoteric's excited that you're here, Judd. Yeah, why? Gross.
Why?
Yeah, but basically what I was saying to you was Apex has kind of not done anything bad because you can just not play the shitty game mode, and the nerfs are kind of pointless.
Yeah.
But the only bad thing about it is they've essentially made Watson redundant, and that's a character that you either have to really grind for or you have to buy it.
Yeah.
So it's
I was just gonna say she seems like the character that needs the least nerfing right now.
Yeah. To be honest, even
anyone
Caustic and Gibraltar are more like usable now in the new game mode. They're more usable. They're actually not terrible. But Tessoteric's asking where you've been.
Where I've been?
Yeah, he's been at work, Tesso. I told you what was happening.
Yeah, I've been at work, and then just then I was sorting out my Wi-Fi because my Wi-Fi was being shit.
Yeah.
My Wi-Fi.
But anyway, on to more interesting news. For all the people who are listening to this podcast not live and have listened through all that weird crap of me reading out poems and that, here's your award. We've got some stream stories because we went out for my girlfriend's birthday. Which was fun. Did you have fun at that party, Jid?
Eventually, I wasn't having fun through like most of it. And
Why?
then,
What
like,
was the matter?
I just weren't. I just like I'd been out partying the other day and like I didn't
You
get
were
much
kind of
sleep
hungover.
and I was still I was quite hungover. I spent more money than I wanted to, and I was just like, I'm just not fucking enjoying myself. And like there wasn't that many people there that like I could properly try to talk to. Like
I
I ended up getting
suppose.
on really well with what's his face, the one we ended up sort of sat, when they were packing everything away, and
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
was you.
He was called
It
Aaron.
was
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, Aaron. So I ended up talking to him a lot more than like I thought I would. I ended up enjoying talking to him, but
You were just funny. Like we were like
yeah,
laughing when we were talking to him. Right, he got quite
we're
drunk.
fucking recycling in that room.
He got quite drunk and were trying to tell us like all of his views and that on stuff. And like, for
Yeah.
example, one of them was Boris Johnson and is his hero for trying to push Brexit
Yeah.
through or some shit. And to be honest, I think he thought we were laughing like with him at all this stuff, but we weren't really. We were more laughing at
yeah.
him and how stupid he sounded. Because he was what he had like some fucking beef with recycling. Like, what was his problem?
For some reason, he fucking hated recycling. Like, at one point, we sort of just sat there and he went, I'd rather fucking die than recycle. And me and Jake just fucking burst out laughing. And it's like, I'm right though, aren't I? And we're like, right about what? What are you trying to be right about? What's the worst thing about recycling? He's like, well, I gotta get all my shit into separate piles and put them in different fucking bins. And I'm like, yeah, that's what you have to do. He's like, oh, I don't want to fucking do it.
Honestly, it was hilarious. Thing is, he didn't realise in Barnsley, right? Barnsley's very Labour. Like, it's very left-wing politically. And the Labour Party is the left-wing political party. And our town's very much like wants them in power essentially, and that. And to be honest, I think I do too. But I don't.
It's always been a Labour town, hasn't it?
Yeah, like since forever. And the thing is, Boris Johnson is a Conservative. He's at the complete opposite, right?
Yeah.
And in Barnsley, everyone hates the Conservatives. Like pretty much everyone. Obviously, there's going to be a few that like them, but
yeah,
pretty like 90% of people hate them. Like really, like actually would like fucking kill a Tory. And he fucking this guy exclaims at the top of his lungs in a party in Barnsley, right, full of people, Boris Johnson's my fucking hero, And we were like, we were just laughing at him because
we were just
you don't know where you
are,
do you? You don't.
Stupid. But to be honest, I truly think that like most of Barnsley doesn't, apart from like the older generation, some of the younger generation will care, but most of the generation in Barnsley don't care. What Barnsley's population cares about is the next time they're gonna have a sesh and how much spice they can do in an hour. That's what
I think you'd be surprised at how much people care about politics in Barnsley, but in like a bad way. They're like ignorant but don't care, and they want their own way anyway, even though they're ignorant about it. So it's just, I don't know, it's stupid. But so another thing that happened when we were there, my girlfriend Helena got quite drunk. But there was a magician there, and he was really good.
Jesus Christ, that magician! I still have dreams about him. There might be nightmares. Brilliant. Every time I wake up and I go,
yeah, he was great. He was so good. He was funny as well. And thing is, my favourite moment, right? He did loads of tricks like in quick succession, like in front of us, and I was loving it. My favourite moment when he was doing these tricks, but I can't remember what he said it for, but he said, what's something that everyone's got? And I thought he meant like, what's something that everyone like gets like in life?
He said something like, I don't want to do something with wallets because everybody always does something with wallets, and I've done a fair few wallet tricks, but I was thinking, what is something else that everybody in life will always have?
And I said, right, because I thought he meant will always have, as in always like ends up with, always gets.
Yeah. What will everybody in the world always have?
And I said,
say?
A coffin.
And I looked at you and I went, Yeah.
Thing is, everyone looked at me like, what the fuck?
I didn't. Like, everybody was like, what the fuck do you mean, a coffin? I looked at you and went,
I
yeah.
sort of looked to you to be like, am I being really weird here?
No, but like,
is,
because
I thought I meant like, because everyone dies, don't they? So we all. But the thing is, that's not even true. We don't all have a coffin because plenty of people get cremated. So.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have a natural burial because it's cheap as fuck. Like, and he doesn't put my family out. But I knew it in a metaphorical sense. What you were saying is that everybody will die. So
I just like, kind of misheard him. But everyone, the thing is, this magician, right? When he first came over to us, I was dead excited about it, and he were like, he liked me because I was really into like magic, and he was like, oh, that's great. I'm gonna enjoy doing tricks for this guy. But as soon as I said a coffin, he was like, no, you're fucking weird, aren't you? And I was like, oh, no, I've disappointed this magician. And
you did look quite a bit upset, like,
he did. When everybody... He was really upset with me. I don't know why.
No, I mean, you looked a bit upset after, because then, like, whenever he did a trick and everybody was like, yeah, you were a bit more like, yeah.
Yeah, so that was funny. But thing is...
You fucking said coffin.
It leads me on to, like, the next thing that happened to do with... magic, because when Helena was really drunk later, me and Judd were doing these magic tricks, but not really to her. I just said to Helena, oh, Helena, look. And I just put a coin up to her and just took it out my hand with my other hand. And she looked at me like bewildered, like, what?
Yeah.
How'd you do that? Like,
and then I did one where, like, I had like a straw hidden behind my hand, and I went, Helena, watch this one, and like pretended to sneeze, and then when I moved my hand away, I positioned it so like the straw looked like it was like coming out of my nose, and then I like started pulling on it to try and yank it out, and Helena was like,
my favourite one was I wanted to see how far we could push it, like for her to believe us. I think it was a coin, I can't remember. I just had a coin in my hand and I went, Helena, look. And I showed her it, and I just dropped it on the floor and showed her my hand, like, right in front of her face. And she went, what? Whoa, how did you do that? That's how drunk she was. Yeah. It was really funny. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, you were really funny.
Another fun thing that happened is there was a girl at the party Judd liked to look of. I kind of want to follow up with you on this, but I want to sort of tell the story first.
Okay. Well, I have got a follow up to that actually. So if you want to tell it, and then.
So basically, there was a bunch of people who my girlfriend knew. Mostly, it was all her friends who were there. And I know a lot of them through the choir we were in. Like I was kind of friends with them before I even got together with Helena, but more so after we got together. And this girl. Judd saw her at the bar, and mentioned that he quite liked the look of her.
Yeah,
and
I went, bro, that bird over there looks quite fucking fit, like, doesn't she?
Yeah,
that's what
I like to give her a good Roger in.
I'd like to. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say that just in case you listen to this show. I'm gonna say
that. But yeah, so I was like, right, Judd, listen here, you fucking puss. In fact, to be honest, before we went there, I was like, Judd, why are you talking to a girl at this party? And it just so happened that you said that later on, didn't you? And that you said about this girl. And I said, right, well, you're going to talk to this girl, Judd. And that's it. You just talk to her, have a chat with her, see what she's like. That's all. That's all that's going to happen. So she was stood outside with like one friend, and like, I got another guy that we know were at the party called Daniel to investigate what she was drinking, this girl that Judd liked. And he went and did some like fucking Mission Impossible shit and found out what she was drinking.
I don't know about this. You've not told me about this.
That's what happened. And he came back to me like the mole on South Park the movie. and he told me what she was drinking, so I went to the bar and got that drink, and then you came to the bar to talk to me, and I went, right, Judd, here you go, you're going to give this drink to a girl. And so we went outside, and I knew both the girls who were out there. I knew the one that Judd liked and this other girl that she was talking to. So I introduced them both to Judd, and I started talking to the other girl, like, and just saying things to her, to the point where I even moved past the girl Judd liked and draw and drew
Yeah,
the gaze
it
of
was
the
a
other.
proper wingman tactic. It was. I saw it and I went, he's done that before him.
Normally,
like
I'm
that-
really bad at wingmanning people, but I'm quite like overt and obvious with what I'm doing. But I feel like you kind of have to be a bit. I mean, if you're subtle, people kind of, especially when they're drunk, they don't really like. They miss like what you're trying to do a lot of the time. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that, and you talked to her for a bit, didn't you? And
Yeah.
how did that conversation go down? Thing is, right?
It was
This
good.
is a party where people are supposed to be wearing like shirts, really, and girls wearing dresses, like fairly fancy dresses and that.
Yeah.
Judd turns up in fucking shorts and like. It was a shirt, but it weren't like a fancy shirt, was it? And like a hoodie. He was wearing a hoodie as well.
No, it's my denim jacket.
Yeah, it was. That wasn't. I
wasn't trying to be fucking fancy. Thing is, I didn't expect them to be that fancy, but then again, I should have realised it's Helena's 21st.
Yeah, it's hella nice.
Yeah, their shit's quite fancy, so I should have known, but I didn't have very fucking nice fancy stuff anyway. Like,
yeah, was the fancy stuff you had available. To be fair,
I mean, I could have gone fancier if like I would have. The only sort of fancy I could have done, I say, is a fucking fling around a knife in my hand.
Wearing a smoking jacket. Hold on, shall I put my dressing gown on as well?
Hold on, I can make it fancier. Hold on.
He's swinging a knife.
If I would have tried to be any fucking
got a cig in his
fancier than
mouth
I
as
am
well.
now, if I could have been any fancier, if I could have been any fancier than I would, then I would have had to go for been more like edgy looking, because like I would have been in my sort of black jacket. I would have had my.
This
my
is
black
like a blazer
jeans
as
on.
well, so that would have been.
Yeah, a black jeans on, and then like my what do they call it when it's like you're not checkered?
Oh, plaid.
Plaid, and like a plaid shirt.
Yeah.
Then that would have looked a lot nicer.
Thing is, right, Judd, that wasn't the main. That it wasn't really even a problem. I'm going to say that wasn't the main problem. The main thing was you turned up with fucking scratches all over your face.
I had scars all over my face.
No, not scars. Like still red.
I mean,
mini cuts.
You can still sort of see it there. That one.
Yeah, there's one on his right on his nose, and they were really obvious. Like there was quite a lot of them, and you didn't know where they even came from, did you?
I know pretty much now. What happened was the previous night before when I gone drinking. I was in a place called Shea Bar, which is like the hippiness hoppiness club in Barnsley. It's where most people
to get
go.
in, isn't it? Everything.
In fact, actually, town was so dead that night that I went out that I didn't even have to pay to get in.
Really?
Because like there was just not that many people going in. So what Shea Bar decided, I'm guessing, was like, well, there's not that many fucking people in town anyway. If we have free entry for the night, then most people end up coming here, and they did, because like it was nobody was in upstairs,
right?
But the downstairs was still open and downstairs was rammed. So
yeah,
but
upstairs feels like a VIP place there anyway, but.
I don't like going upstairs.
I don't either.
I don't know. There's something about it, but anyway,
the bar's too small up there.
I was in there dancing, and there was a bit of a. This is nothing to do with how I got my scars. That this whole sort of thing, but there was like a tussle going off between two girls, and I shielded a separate girl behind me, and she was all like, "Oh, you know."
She orgasmed.
So that was nice. She orgasmed on the dance floor. That's what I call a panic at the disco.
And then you slipped on that and scratched your face, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, that's happened. No, so anyway, so like after all that happened, we had more drinks, obviously, because like there'd just been sort of like a tussle. So we were just like, we'll just get more drinks down as a move on. And I'd had like, oh shit, have I died again? Oh wait, no. I'm not dying again. Okay, I thought I died again. I'd had like 5 Desperados for free that night so far, because like my family was out with me earlier because we were watching my cousin sing, and so I'd had a lot of that to drink. I'd been buying my own drinks after, so I was fucked at one point, and I'm on this dance floor sort of dancing, and there were a lot of my friends from high school. I'd love to see you
dancing. Like in a club, because the only place we've been is moshing.
I do a lot of this. I do like dad dancing. I dance like a proper dad. You know how Hopper dances on Stranger Things.
Yeah, well, yeah.
that basically. And at one point, I finished this drink, and in Shea Bar, they're in like these thick plastic cups.
Yeah.
Like glasses, but not made out of fucking glass, you know. And anyway, so it's like a thick one, like it's quite hefty. And for some reason, I'm just like, I'm gonna just break this on my head. It's like some fucking Chad move. I was like, I'm just gonna break it on my head, and I just went this on my face, and immediately I did it. I was like, I'm not gonna say anything, but shards of that are still in my face. And like,
fucking hell.
and they were like,
why didn't you, Judd? Come on. You know, if you're gonna do some stupid stunt like that we've got to film it.
I've got to film it. Yeah, no, because it was
that's the rule.
It was very like spur of the moment thing, but like.
Yeah, well, in that case, you go to one of your friends and go, hey, film this.
Film this, yeah. No, so anyway, like, I think me mate Kieran, who were out drinking with me, was still in there for a bit, and I did it, and he went, fucking hell, Jordan, you okay? And like, I went, yeah. And like, I had like blood running down me, and I was just like, I'm alright.
You do realise next time we play Extreme Rock, Paper, Scissors, we're going to end up recreating that. Like, one of us is.
No, well, I could have blinded myself. I could have straight up blinded myself, because I did it
and
like
it wouldn't
there.
have even been on camera or anything. Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
So, right, so basically, back to the story about this girl that we were on about.
Oh,
I'd
okay,
wingmanned us way in. I knew both these girls, so I was talking to one of them, and Judd was talking to the other one. And like, what did we kind of wandered in, basically saying, we've got this drink, do you want it? And like, she was like, oh, yeah, all right. She kind of already had one. She was like, towards finishing the one she already had.
Yeah, she left that one that she had, by the way.
She just didn't have that one she already had.
Yeah, so I don't know if she got it and then she wasn't too bothered about it, which in that case, me showing up with a drink in my hand would have been even better. But I don't know, she just ended up not having it. Or she could have been so drunk that she sort of started on that one and then forgot about it. She
wasn't that drunk, though, so I think that she probably were just being nice and thought, I'll drink this one that he's brought me.
Yeah.
But what did you talk about? Like, this conversation wasn't that long. Didn't Helena come out and try and show me something and kind of ruined what we were doing?
I don't think so. I don't think Helena came out.
Someone came out and then people went inside a bit. But I mean, you had enough of a conversation. Like, it was like a 5-minute conversation, weren't it?
Yeah, we were just talking about, like, you know, what she does, like what I do, like where we both live, you know, what's her address, what's the code to get in her home, how I'm gonna creep through the window. No, she like just stuff like that, just like this is weird for when this happens for me. It's not weird for other people, but we had a normal adult conversation.
Yeah, that don't happen normally.
Yeah, like about you know, how far away from town she is, how often she gets into town, stuff like that. If she'd be coming out drinking with us later on, just stuff like that. And we just
thing is, that's like, I don't know. It's not necessarily better than a weird conversation like we'd normally have, because you know, you don't want to try and put on a different persona, do you? Which you weren't doing. You were just naturally fell into that, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just what we're talking about. Because I didn't want to go over to her and be like, hey, this is me. This is how I normally act with everybody. Look how fucking weird I am. But
you're not constantly weird, are you? Like,
I'm not constantly
just
weird,
a lot of the time. But
a lot of yeah.
The other thing is, if you have a slightly strange conversation, that's more memorable and interesting to people as well. Like, often, like, you know, these good, quote, good conversations, people have had a lot, so...
What were you doing to everybody that night when you're introducing me, Jake? What were you fucking doing?
Oh, yeah. I was like saying, this is Judd. He's got weird scratches on his face. Once poured piss on his head, but he does have a big dick. So
yeah, that's what we're saying to everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone at the party. And like that's one of the things I brought up. I was like, sorry about that introduction earlier. She's like, well, it's not the worst introduction ever. I mean, you did say you've got a big dick, and that's quite impressive.
See?
I was like,
it works.
I guess it works. I guess the system works. But
because the thing is, with doing that, the reason I do it, right, is because you want them to know those things. You want them to know the bad things, don't you? Because you don't want them to get surprised by it down the line. So you may as well present it in a way that's less damaging. So you present a few like bad things, and then you make them forget about them by presenting a good thing. It does work. I mean, He's not. Are you frozen? You're not frozen. You're just shocked.
I think I am.
What the fuck? Right. Okay. So what did she say to that? Did she seem pleased to know that?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm freezing up really bad here.
You look fine.
I'm back.
You're
I'm
fine.
back. I'm back.
You
I'm
were
back.
you were fine
No,
through all of that.
It's passed out. I wasn't fine for all of that.
On my end, you were.
I wasn't on my end. You were Mr. Robot into fuck, and my screen was passing out a bit.
Okay.
But,
Well, what? So, what more about the conversation? Is it? We're just a normal conversation, basically.
yeah, just normal conversation.
And did you get vibes that she might like you?
Well, at the start, like during that conversation, not really. Like I was just having a chat to her, but then. I'm alright to time skip a little bit, or is there anything you want to get on?
No, just go with that moment for now.
Well, just nothing like massive in that moment.
So not yeah,
We
not
talked,
no,
we-
not.
not yeah. We just had a normal. That was my first time ever properly talking to her. I didn't like walk up to her with this drink and then like everything went rose tinted and there was like a wide shot and
So,
it was like la,
Yeah,
la,
but
la, la.
thing is, in that amount of conversation, you can get an idea whether she's like warm to you, whether she thinks she like might be interesting to talk to or anything like that, or whether like the conversation felt dead, or you know.
Well, I mean, the conversation didn't feel dead. It felt natural talking to her. It felt like we could both stand there and have a good conversation with each other.
But do you think she thought that as well?
Yeah, I do. I do think that.
Cool, good, right.
I think she was wondering what the fucking scars were. but so was I. So it
Yeah,
was
but
fine.
she'll remember you as that one with the weird
The
scars
scar
and that
face, yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. Well, so later on, we walked down into town, and she was there was quite a few people who went down into like the pubs from this venue. It's only like a 5-minute walk, and she was one of them, and there was quite a few of us. And did you talk to her at all then until like she was about to leave?
I didn't, but I heard what Helena said.
What did
Which
Helena say?
I was
Is
just
it
like,
safe
God
for work?
fucking damn it. Yeah, it's safe for work. What Helena said.
What was
yeah,
it? I
absolutely.
don't know what you mean.
She was just drunk and like, because you know when we're walking down, actually into town.
Yeah.
Helena like went up to Neve and she was like, "Hey Neve, guess what?" And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "Should I have said her name? It doesn't matter, does it?"
We've not said a last
I
name.
don't know. I don't know. I don't think I even know her last name.
I do, but I'm not gonna say it.
She was like, "Hey, guess what?" And she's like, "What?" And she's like, "Jordan likes you." And she's like, "Oh," like I heard that, and I'm like, "Fuck's sake, son of a bitch!" But
Does it matter that much though? I mean,
Not
people
really.
like worry about that sort of thing, but does it matter if people know that? I don't think it's that big a deal.
Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, go on then.
The
Keep
only
going,
other
because
really interaction that happened with this girl is that we were in a pub and Helena were kind of a bit too drunk. This is when we were doing these magic tricks.
Yeah.
And this Neve girl who Jid were talking to, like, came to everyone and said that she were going to get off and, like, leave. And I went, but Neve, will you give Judge your number?
And again, I'm just like, this is. I will say this is part of the reason I wasn't enjoying my night because, like, I didn't feel comfortable talking to everybody, and then this thing was going off, and like when you said that, I'm just like, fucking hell, I just want to go home. Like, I got through a full pack that night of smokes. I like never smoke that much, but like there was something about
I think it's
that
because
night
it were
where
partying
like,
and other people were smoking as well, though. But
well, no, because like I hang out with like all of my major friends are smokers, and like I'll have 2 or 3 cigs on a night like that, and like no more. Like if a lot of the time they'll be like, "Do you want to come out for one?" I'm just like, "No, I'm okay. I'm not bothered. I'm fine." And they might get through like half a pack or something. I'll have 2.
yeah,
Like not 2 full packs, 2 cigs. But yeah, so like there was just something about that party where just like every 10 minutes, just like I need a fucking smoke.
I
Like
think most of that was just you being a little whiny bitch again.
maybe.
Because it worked out fine, didn't it? I mean, and her response to that was, "Yeah, okay." She was like, all right.
Yeah,
Like she
but
was like, I
again-
guess you're all right. She sort of seemed not. She was kind of like, normally I wouldn't be fully interested. I don't even know if I am, but may as well give it a go. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
So
But again, that was another thing that was just like, oh, because like it just felt like she was put on the spot a lot, and
Yeah.
like,
she was.
yeah, and I didn't like that, and it sort of, if anything, just made me feel like worse.
Well,
And
why do you feel bad about it?
I don't know, because we're putting this poor girl on the fucking spot. She's probably not even.
No, you weren't.
interested
I
in-
was.
Yeah, you made me feel bad, is what I'm saying.
No. You made you feel bad, right? Because the only reason you feel bad is because you're scared of what she's thinking towards you, right? But
Yeah.
what you said, if anything, endears her more to you because you were like, "I'm sorry about this, my brother being weird to you," but you still wanted her number, so you still went through with it. So
I
she's
did,
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, that's all right to you." So if anything,
Yeah.
I'm the one that she's feeling awkward towards. And so you don't have to worry about anything. There's no negative on you.
Yeah, but anyway, can I go on to my little bit of news about that?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, I did message her the next day.
Okay.
I was just like, hi again. I'm sorry about my brother last night. I'm just making sure you get home okay and that you're all right. And I even put a single kiss on the end.
Ooh,
So
saucy.
I was pushing the boat.
Did you
out
put
a
the
little
wet
bit.
emoji as well? Because then she.
I did.
know.
I put the I put the eggplant and like the
squirt.
the squirt. Yeah. And
No, you didn't.
no, I didn't. And I was like, "Fucking hell, one kiss! I'm pushing the envelope here."
You got to do it. You got to try it. You just got to keep trying your luck.
But I did. But I just did. And she was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. It's completely fine." And then I thought like if she would have just put that, then I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave it."
Right.
But she put afterwards, "I hope you had a good night as well, like for the rest of the night?" Question mark.
Yeah.
And then
so
a kiss, and I'm
put
like,
a little kiss. She's
I'm like, this is
asking
conversation.
about you.
This is the
This
start
is
of a conversation. This is a second conversation with. I never
You're doing
usually
it,
get
Jude.
through one.
This one's digital, but you're doing it still.
Yeah. I never get through one conversation with a woman. This one's wanting two. What do you do?
Well, she might not be wanting them, but she's doing them.
Yeah, but and I was just like, yeah, no, we really enjoyed ourselves towards the end of the night. We ended up in Quassis and stuff. And I was like, it's a shame, you couldn't come out with us and like spend the rest of the night, have a good night with us. And she was like,
That's good. I like where you're leading with this, right?
Yeah, and
Because
she-
then that
yeah.
leads you on to be able to say, you should come out with us next time, or,
well. She said, yeah, no, it sounded like we would have had a right laugh. And I was like, next time you're about or you're in town or anything, hit me up and we'll we'll have a night round town.
Yes, I like it. Oh, there's no audio from Judd. Oh, this is such a suspense. Oh no.
If I'm fine on your, I don't know if I'm
there we
fine
go.
on
You're
your
back.
end,
I
but
just
right
went.
now-
We
but
just
right
got
now I'm Mr.
just your
Roboty.
audio went, and is it still going?
Oh wait, I'm back. I think I'm back.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, just your audio disappeared, and I'm like, no, the suspense.
Yeah. So, oh god, where were I?
You were saying that you said that she next time she's here.
Yeah, next time that she's in town, or she's actually not. I said next time you're free, we'll have a night round town together and we'll have a laugh. And she said, yeah. And she said, yeah, definitely. Next time that I'm anywhere near town and I'm free, we'll have a night out together.
Yeah.
So
Sweet, great. It's gone.
sweet,
Like that's probably one of the best interactions you've ever had with a female so far.
yeah,
Surely.
with anybody, even with a dude. I don't think I've been like that with a dude either. Like I've had a crush on a dude and I've been like, do you want to have a night round town? And they're like, yeah. Like,
yeah. What I will say, not to put you down, but don't get your hopes up too much because things fall through all the time.
I
Don't
know.
they?
I'm not doing it. It's just that like it's just the fact that I've completed something.
Yeah.
Is quite a monumental occasion.
Yeah. You've got nearly a date.
Yeah.
Nearly.
I've got almost a date. Maybe.
So hypothetically, just to finish this podcast off before we start the next one.
Yeah.
What would you do? Like, so you get a text from her that in a week or two she's going to be near Barnsley again. What sort of plan would you try and make? Like, what would you do? Like, what would we go out? Would it be just you and her, or would you want me and Helena, or like quite a big group of people, or?
Well, I suppose I'd ask her all that. I'd be like, is there anywhere in particular you want to go? Are you bringing a lot of friends? Or I'd ask. It depends what she wanted to do. Honestly, I'd talk it out with her. I wouldn't go, right, this is what we're doing for a night out. I'd just be like, because she's coming over. I get to do this every night if I wanted to. I mean, I'd be fucking dead, but I could. And it's so, it'd be up to her really. It won't be up to me.
Yeah, I suppose if it's better that you sort of join her in a night out than she'll feel safer and things then with this like guy she don't really know, I suppose.
Yeah,
weird one with scratches all over his face. Yeah,
with scars all over his face that frequently flings a knife about on fucking stream. Yeah, that she feels safe with me.
Oh,
everybody
Jesus.
feels fucking safe with me.
Well, that's a good story. I think that's a good end to the podcast. Stay tuned for the next podcast. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, stay tuned for the next one where we'll probably be continuing on party-themed things. There's a few more things that might be worth talking about.
I've got one thing that I want to talk about as well.
And then probably a load of bollocks after that as well. Yeah. And if you're watching live on Twitch, just stay tuned because we're going to be recording it straight after this anyway. Thanks for listening. And thanks for staying
green. Stay green.
Stay green, everyone. Make sure to recycle. Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking recycle.